Our topic for tonight is trading for accountant. And before we start, I would like to introduce myself first. In partnership with Crypto Accounting PH, powered by Nara Labs. And yeah, I would like to introduce myself first. By the way, I'm Mixeron, or also known as Crick G in the space. I graduated Bachelor of Science in International Tourism Hospitality Management in Liceo of the Philippines University, Intramuros, Manila noong 2014. And after po nun, naging turista po ako. Pumunta po ako ng Japan and to pursue another education which is the early childhood education. And from there, doon po nag-spark yung interest ko in teaching po talaga. And through that, we ano po siya, galing po siya sa Social Enterprise English Language School. So since it is a social enterprise, ang pinaka main goal ng company po namin is to change the category or the livelihood ng mga client namin. So our client po doon sa Japan is yung mga Pilipina. So ang main goal po or yung vision ng company namin in Japan is to uplift the image of Filipina. Kasi meron stigma po sa Japan na yung mga Filipina po doon is, kaya sila nasa Japan is because they are Japayuki noong 1980s, 1990s. So gusto ng boss ko na makilala yung mga Filipina as an educator. So that vision sparks teaching in me talaga. And naging Montessori teaching approach resource speaker din po ako ng 2017. And noong 2017, dito ko po unang narinig yung crypto. That time, Bitcoin was around $1,000 pa lang. Nasa September 2017. Then, yeah, ayun, nag-venture po ako sa crypto simula 2018. I've been in the space for almost 7 years na kasi 2017 po talaga ako nasa crypto pero 2018 po ako nag-start into trading. And after that, since nasa Japan din po ako, umuwi ako sa Pilipinas to start my Japanese language teaching experience and at the same time, trading coach. So sa umaga, Japanese language teacher po ako. Nagtuturo po ako ng Nihongo sa mga aspiring Filipino na gustong pumunta ng Japan. And sa gabi, I've been coaching trading. Just imagine, no, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, I've been coaching for 5 years na. And one of my achievements here in trading is I became being X top 2 trader. And we established Gainers Ground noong 2022. We are 2 years old pa lang po. And I also became funded trader this year. And yeah, I'm excited to teach trading with you guys. And yeah, ano ba yung trading? Sabi dito, trading is the hardest way to earn easy money. Can you type 1 kung wala talagang idea with trading? And can you type 2 kung somehow merong idea? Or can you type 3 kung ano? Ay, merong mga may idea. Can you type 3 kung sa tingin mo na you are knowledgeable in trading naman na? Ayan, so may mga knowledge na, which is nice. By the way, crypto is not the only way to trade. Meron din tayong forex trading, stock trade na sunugan na po. Yeah, part ng process yan. So meron tayong crypto trading, meron tayong forex trading, meron tayong stock trading. So isa-isahin muna natin siya. Sa stocks, ang binibili natin doon is yung shares ng company. Like ano ba yung mga stock here in the Philippines? Meron tayong JFC, meron tayong BPI, BDO, and so on and so forth. So if we believe in that company, we are going to buy shares in that company. Sa tingin ko, JFC or Jollibee Food Corporation will go up this year kasi maganda yung economy with the food. So sa tingin ko the banking industry will go up kasi maganda yung economy ng Philippines ngayon. Something like that. So we buy the share through that. So yes, sa forex naman we buy the currency like the euro. Sa tingin ko maganda ekonomiya ng euro ngayon. I am going to invest in euro. Sa tingin ko maganda ekonomiya ng GBP or British pound right now. So I'm going to buy British pound. So I think that the fundamental of gold right now is doing well. Ayan, so ano yung mga reasons or rationale behind that? So, yes, and on crypto naman, eto naman ang pinakabagong market natin. Andito yung Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and so on and so forth. So, yes, sabi dito, trading is the hardest way to earn easy money. Yes, this is true kasi ayun nga, marami na tayong narinig na nasunugan or something like that. Pero gusto ko kayong bigyan ngayon ng solid foundation kung ano ba yung trading. So, do you wanna trade? I believe, paano ba tayo magte-trade? Or how are we going to trade? Like, ang dami nating topic sa internet or even sa book. Ano yung technical analysis? Ano yung emotional control? Bakit may emotional control in trading? Ano yung introspect, entry model, exit points, money management, and sobrang hirap alamin kung saan ba tayo magsisimula. Right? So, in trading, trading is a skill. Like, the way, gaya ng pag-bookkeep. Like, trading is also a skill. So, everything is a skill. Katulad ng paglangoy. Like, swimming is a skill, biking is a skill, hiking is a skill. Ayan, so, being a nurse is a skill. So, lahat ng bagay sa mundo is a skill. Like, for example, yung biking, 'pag natutunan mo ba kung paano mag-bike, makakalimutan mo pa kung paano mag-bike. Can you type 1 if hindi na? Can you type 2 if yes, puwede nang makalimutan? What do you think? So, parang instinct na natin yun, eh. Once na natutunan natin yung skill kung paano mag-bike, hindi na natin makakalimutan kung paano mag-bike, right? Kung natutunan na natin kung paano lumangoy, parang hindi mo na maiisip kung paano mo makakalimutan kung paano lumangoy. Same with trading. Once na matutunan mo kung paano mag-trade, this is already a skill. 'Pag sinabi natin skill, ito yung skill na puwede natin pagkaperahan. Alright? So, in trading, meron tayong three basic skills. Ano yung three basic skills na kailangan nating matutunan? Ayan yung technical analysis, trading psychology, risk management. So, etong tatlong 'to, meron siyang three equal importance. So, ano ba yung technical analysis? Ito yung how do we analyze the market, kung tataas ba siya or bababa ba siya? Kung mas tataas ba siya or mas bababa ba siya? So, are you getting my point? Meron tayong meron tayong way to analyze the market technically. So, meron tayong way to analyze the market subjectively and objectively. So, meron tayong way to analyze the market mechanically. Ano ibig sabihin ng mechanically? Na once na makita na natin yun, automated na yung galaw natin or automated na yung sunod na galaw natin. So, klaro po ba so far? Ayan, so technical analysis. Etong skill na 'to, eto yung skill kung paano tayo magbasa ng chart. Ayan, so I think everything is clear naman 'no? So ayun lang yung yung TLDR ni technical analysis. Risk management, risk management is of course also a skill. Just imagine nasa bangka tayong lahat, nasa bangka tayong lahat. Sabihin nating cruise kasi hindi tayo kasya sa bangka, eh, 'no? Baka baka wala ng place para kay Alice Guo, hindi joke lang. So let's imagine na nasa tayo guys, nasa cruise. Ayan, so dito sa cruise, siyempre hindi tayo lahat marunong lumangoy. May mga marunong lumangoy and may mga taong hindi marunong lumangoy. Pero, in this cruise lahat tayo meron tag-iisang life jacket, right? Sabihin natin lumubog yung cruise. Sino yung pinaka-may high chance to survive? Right? Sino yung may high chance to survive? Siyempre yung mga taong marunong lumangoy. Pangalawa, yung mga taong kalmado sa panahon ng uncertainty. Kahit sabihin natin meron tayong life vest, kung nagpapanik ka na, hindi ka na makakagawa ng rational decision, eh. Right? So, am I being clear here? Risk management is also a skill. Pag sinabi kasi nating management, it is measurable. Pag sinabi nating measurable, it has numbers. Like meron siyang calculations, meron siyang technicalities, meron siyang how do you call this? Meron siyang meron siyang numbers, meron siyang technicalities and so on and so forth. And again, trading psychology is also a skill. So can you type 1 kung kung narinig mo na yung trading psychology is a skill. Again, there is also numbers in trading psychology, which is ayun yung bagay na medyo na-overlook ng iba. Ayan, can you type, ay nakikinig pa ba iba? Can you type 1 kung narinig mo na yung psychology? Ayan, pag-usapan muna natin yung yung psychology. Tanggalin muna natin yung trading. Pag sinabi natin psychology, ano ibig sabihin nun? Ayan, pag sinabi natin psychology, what does it mean? In one word para sa'yo. Para sa inyo guys, pag sinabi natin psychology, bakit kailangan natin ng psychology dito? Kasi dalawa yung nilalabanan natin dito. Dalawa yung nire-resist natin dito. Una, being wrong. Pangalawa, losing money. Right? So, ayun yung dalawang masakit eh. Una, you are being proven wrong. Pangalawa, nawawalan ka ng pera. So, kung hindi natin may intindihan ano yung importance ng psychology, wala. In one word, guys, walang may gusto magbigay. In one word, what is psychology? Sabi dito ni Miguel Fabros, mindset, behavior, nice answer, guys. Emotion. Ayan. Mind. Ayan. So, discipline. Sige pa. Keep going guys, keep going. Ano yung gusto kong pigain kasi this is an important part of your trading journey. This is an important part of your trading skill. How you deal with your emotion and thinking. All right, thank you guys for making this engaging. So, trading psychology is a study of behavior. Like bakit ganito ka mag-react? Bakit ganito ka matalo? Bakit ganito ka sa pera? Right? So, bakit may mga bagay na gusto mong kontrolin pero hindi mo makontrol? So, meron din tayong framework on that. And trading especially, di pwede pabigla-bigla. Calculated risk. Yes. So, in trading, etong tatlong to have an equal importance. Pag sinabi nating equal importance, hindi mas lamang si technical analysis, hindi mas lamang si trading psychology, hindi mas lamang si risk management. So, anong mangyayari? For example, technical analysis tas trading psychology lang yung skill mo. Hindi mo master yung risk management. So, anong mangyayari pag technical analysis and risk management lang? Wala kang pakialam. Hindi, mindset lang naman yan. Hindi na kailangan aralin yung trading psychology. And ano naman yung mangyayari pag trading psychology, risk management na inaral natin, tapos wala tayong technical analysis. So, ganito yung mangyayari pag hindi natin inayos or pag hindi natin binigyan ng equal importance yung tatlong to. Ayan. Pag technical analysis lang tapos trading psychology, alam mo yung mindset, alam mo yung mga kailangan mong gawin. Ayan. So, since hindi ka marunong kung paano yung tamang position sizing or margin allocation or kung paano mo malalaman na what you are doing is on the negative side, you are going to blow up your account. Kahit gaano ka ka-positive sa buhay, kahit gaano kaganda yung mindset mo or yung technical analysis mo, kung hindi ka marunong mag-calculate, ayan. So, napakahalaga nito for accounting. Tama. Kung hindi natin maibaba, ayun yung maganda sa accounting, no? Kailangan natin i-balance. So, basic na basic to sa atin lahat. Right? So, mabublow up natin yung account natin. And what if trading psychology lang pas risk management? Right? Ganda ng mindset mo, marunong ka mag-calculate, pero hindi mo alam kung kailan ka papasok, hindi mo alam kung kailan ka lalabas, hindi mo alam kung kailan ka magte-trade, hindi mo alam kung kailan hindi ka dapat mag-trade, wala kang edge. Tama? So lahat ng entry feeling mo maganda, lahat ng exit feeling mo sa tama na yon or that's the best. So wala kang tamang analysis. Hindi mo nakaka-categorize etong trade na to, this is class A, etong trade na to, this is class B, something like that. You don't have an edge. Right? Sabihin natin, you have good technical analysis and risk management, pero hindi maganda yung mindset mo in your money. Yes, may mga times na you are going to win big, but you are also going to lose big. Bakit? Kasi you will not have discipline. Right? So, pag makikita natin, pag mababalance natin to, we can have profitability. Alright? So, yeah, basa muna tayo ng comment dito. Ano yung gusto na sabihin for Q&A? TA isn't necessary. Ayan. So, do your own research. Ayan. So, for later na lang yung question and answer natin. Again, can you type 1 kung meron mga nagda-drive dito? Can you type 2? Can you type 1 kung may mga nagda-drive dito? Ayan. Meron ba tayong mga driver dito? Yun, may mga nagda-drive din dito sa sa ating webinar. So, as a driver, madaling madaling nage-gets niyo, madaling bagalan yung pagda-drive natin and madali ring bilisan, right? So, ididiin mo lang yung silinyador, 'di ba? Parang that's how you can go. Madaling bilisan, madaling bagalan, pero ang hirap hanapin ng tamang balance. Right? So, ano ba yung tamang bilis? Ano ba yung tamang bilis na hindi ako nakakaistorbo sa likod ko at hindi rin ako sobrang lapit sa harap ko? Right? So, trading is finding the right balance then. Alright? So, yeah. Since, ayun nga, trading is a skill and ano yung dapat nating unahin dito? Siyempre, una nating aalamin or ano ba yung una natin dapat aralin dito? Siyempre, ang una nating aralin will be paano ba mag-analyze ng market? Right? So, we need to start with one. So, analysis muna. And again, technical analysis is the easiest part of trading. Ulitin ko, technical analysis is the easiest part of trading. To be honest, you can master technical analysis within 3 weeks to 3 months. You can master technical analysis within 3 weeks to 3 months. Ganun lang po kadali yung concept ng technical analysis. Like kahit anong concept pa yung aralin natin, price action, SMC, ICT, harmonic, Ichimoku, ang mahirap lang i-master will be the Elliott wave theory. And I'll be giving you how are you going to analyze the market later kung meron pa tayong time. So ano ba yung kailangan nating aralin with technical analysis? So technical analysis, ano ba yung technical analysis ulit? Technical analysis involves evaluating stocks, coins or token through the study of past market data from price movements, momentums, and volume. And key topics that need to be discussed in technical analysis include volume, trend, and chart. Ayan. So, kailangan natin malaman kung ano ba yung volume. Pag sinabi natin yung volume, yun dami ng mga nagtitrade. Yung laki ng pumapasok at lumalabas na pera. Alright? So, ayun yung volume in that time frame. Like for example, in this hour, ganito karami yung gumalaw na pera, ganito karami yung pumasok na pera, ganito karami yung lumabas na pera. Ganito yung nagiging reaction ng mga trader or ng mga investor sa ganitong oras, sa ganitong way, and so on and so forth. Trend, eto naman yung pag nakikita natin, the market is going up. Ayan, parang the market is going up. Ayan, narinig na ba natin na Bitcoin right now is on an uptrend. Ayan, so yung Bitcoin daw ngayon pataas. Kasi simula simula January 2024 hanggang ngayon is nag-times 3 na yung price, right? So 20K to 60K. So ayun, kailangan din natin malaman ano yung trend ng market. Pataas ba ngayon yung market? Pababa ba ngayon yung market? Then lastly is the chart. Right? So ito yung example ng chart natin. And maybe I can draw. Pwede ba tayo dito? Drawing. Yeah. So look at the chart. Ayan. So just by looking the chart, ano yung tingin natin ginagawa ng chart? Is this an uptrend? Pataas ba siya? Or is this a downtrend? Pababa ba siya? Ayan. So, can you type 1 kung sa tingin nyo uptrend? Can you type 2 kung sa tingin nyo downtrend? Ayan. So, may mga nag-type 2. Ayan. Nakikita natin na bumabagsak yung presyo dito or bumabagsak yung chart. Right? So, this is a downtrend. Ayan. Pag malayuan, masasabi natin this is a downtrend. Pero pag malapitan naman, masasabi natin that this is sideways. Right? So, am I clear? Pag tinignan natin malapit, eto, sideways na siya. Ano ibig sabihin ng sideways? Hindi siya gumagawa ng bagong high, hindi rin siya gumagawa ng bagong low. Ayan, kumbaga, ano lang yung galaw niya, maliliit lang. Ayun yung tawag natin dyan is sideways. Alright, so, ayan. So, ang tawag natin dito is candlestick. Ayan, we call this one as candlestick, yung mga kandila na yan. Ayan, meron tayong dalawang candlestick dito. Kulay green tsaka kulay gray. Balikan natin. Kulay green tsaka kulay gray. So, anong ibig sabihin pag green? Ano ibig sabihin pag gray? Or ano ibig sabihin pag green tsaka red? Pag naka-default siya. Right? So, any idea? Ano ibig sabihin ng green and red? GM. Ayan. Pag green, or pag-usapan muna natin sa nagsimula yung candlestick and bakit ginagamit natin yung candlestick na to. Right? So, just imagine, this candlestick technology has been invented nung 18th century pa. So, ang tawag din natin dito is Japanese candlestick. It was invented nung 18th century. Just imagine that time, wala pa tayong internet, wala pa tayong computer. Are you getting my point? Pero na-invento na yung technology na ito ni Munehisa Homa. Of course, he is a Japanese, kaya siya tinawag na Japanese candlestick. So, paano niya kaya na-invento yun? Or paano niya naisip yung candlestick, idea? So, saan niya unang ginamit yun? It was first used in rice commodity trading. So, noong unang panahon, meron ng kalakalan na nangyayari. So, he was a rice emperor. Gusto niyang malaman kung tataas ba or bababa yung presyo ng bigas nung panahon nila. Right? So, tataas ba or bababa yung presyo ng bigas? So, ang ginagawa niya is nagsasurvey siya sa mga bigasan kung ano yung presyo doon. Imagine, wala pa silang line or means of mass communication. Right? Wala pa silang telephone that time. So, ano yung ginagawa niya? Magtatanong talaga siya. Mag-hire siya ng mga tao para magtanong, ano na yung presyo ng bigas sa ganitong lugar? Ano na yung price ng presyo sa ganyan lugar? Right? Wala pa sasakyan nun. Right? Kabayo pa lang, 18th century. Donkey, ayun pa lang yung means of transportation nila. Pero ganun siya ka-passionate. So, naisip nyo na kung ano yung pinaghirapan nila. Ngayon, ang dali na lang lahat, pero ang tamad pa rin natin. So, gusto kong ibigay itong message na ito. So, it took him 14 years to develop this candlestick. Just imagine, more than a decade just to develop this candlestick. And for centuries, it remained unknown outside Japan. Dumaan yung World War I, dumaan yung World War II, pero Japan lang yung may idea or may technology na Japanese candlestick. And paano kaya siya na-introduce outside Japan? It was introduced by Steve Nison on the Western audience noong 1970s. This guy. And in-introduce niya yun. And right now, eto na yung ginagamit natin as a default in trading. So we have 3 parts dito. Ayan, yung mitya. Ayan, nakikita natin, ang tawag natin dito is wick. Right? Itong mitya, ang tawag natin dito is wick. Etong matabang part naman, ang tawag naman natin dito is body. Para talaga siyang kandila. Kaya siya tinawag na Japanese candlestick. And on this part, we have 4 datas here. Ayan, yung high. Ayan, sabihin natin, in this hour, ito yung pinakamataas na price na naabot ng coin. Or sabihin natin ng Bitcoin, ito yung pinakamataas na presyo ng Bitcoin. Then, ito naman yung pinakamababa. Ayan, sa low naman. High and low muna tayo. So, ibig sabihin, yung presyo, tinatry niyang umakyat, tinatry niyang bumaba, and natapos yung oras, dito siya nag-close. Ayan, so dito siya nag-open. Nag-open siya dito. Trinay niyang bumaba, trinay niyang umakyat, napababa siya ulit, kaya siya nag-close. Nagkaroon siya ng shadow or wick dito sa taas. Right? So, clear so far. Index naman natin, pag kung makikita natin, dito siya nag-open, tama? Pag eto nagtuloy-tuloy, bumaba siya, magiging ganito siya. So, eto na yung magiging opening niya, bumaba siya, kaya siya naging white. Then, trinay niya umakyat, dito siya nag-close. So, ang tawag po natin dito is bullish candle. Bakit siya bullish candle? Kasi 'pag yung bull umatake, pasuwag, pataas, right? So, ang tawag naman natin dito is bearish candle. Bakit siya bearish candle? Kasi 'pag yung bear umatake is pa-takedown. So, nakikita natin 'pag yung presyo pataas, bullish, 'pag yung presyo pababa, bearish. Ayan, so ayan po yung mga terminology natin sa market. Ayan, 'pag yung presyo or yung market tumataas, uy, bullish yung market ngayon, right? So, 'pag yung presyo bumababa, uy, bearish yung market ngayon. So, that is how we identify the trend of the market or per candle. Right? So, question so far, guys. Yun, do we have question? Can you type one if none or yeah, check up check up point muna tayo dito. Okay, shoutout sa ating 57 viewers. Yun, mukhang wala naman tayong question with the candlestick. Ayan. So let's go with market terminologies. Ano yung mga kailangan nating matutunan? Ayun nga, pag nakikita natin na pataas yung price, the market is of course bullish. Kasi pasuwag yung atake nila. And pag yung presyo naman, pababa, the market is bearish. So let's talk about the volatility naman. Pag sinabi nating volatility, ito yung galaw ng market. Kung sobrang taas, pag sinabi natin sobrang galaw ng market, ibig sabihin, sobrang volatile ng market or sobrang magalaw yung market. Or pag mahina naman yung volatility niya, ibig sabihin, sideways yung market. Right? So, bullish, bearish, volatility, uptrend. Pag nakakakita tayo ng high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So, ang tawag natin dito is uptrend. And pag nakakakita naman tayo ng low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, ang tawag naman natin sa market na to is downtrend. Alright? So, ayan. So, pag nakikita natin yung market, hindi siya gumagawa ng high or low, nagko-consolidate lang siya. Ang tawag natin dyan is consolidation or sideways. Ayan. So, pag, pag nakikita natin or if we are going to decide na sa tingin ko yung market pataas na siya, we are going to click buy long. And kung sa tingin ko yung market pababa na siya, we are going to click sell short. Alright, so let's try to practice muna, no? Gusto muna natin mag-practice. Ano bang ganap ngayon sa Bitcoin? Or check muna natin. Or let's identify trend muna, guys. So I'll be going in BTC USDT. Let me prepare my chart first. Ayan. So let's go with the Zoom para meron tayong exposure therapy. Exposure therapy. Ayan. So this is the chart, guys. Ayan. Naked chart muna tayo. Pag sinabi nating naked chart, wala muna tayong kung ano-anong nilagay. Ayan. Punta muna tayo sa daily time frame. Yan. Ano ibig sabihin ng daily time frame? Isang candle, isang araw. Ayan. Isang candle, isang araw. Like for example, itong candle na to, nabuo to nung January 23. Meron petsa sa baba. So itong candle na to, nabuo to ng January 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then naging February na siya hanggang mapunta tayo dito sa August. Right? So check muna natin anong kaganapan dito. Ayan, analyze natin yung market. Ayan, so simula nung 2021 November, anong mapapansin natin? Ayan, nag-print tayo ng high, 69K. Nag-print tayo ng high. After natin ma-print itong high na ito, anong nangyari? Nagkaroon tayo ng downtrend, right? Tapos nagkaroon tayo dito ng consolidation. Ano ibig sabihin ng consolidation? Hindi siya gumagawa ng bagong high, hindi rin siya gumagawa ng bagong low. Gaano katagal yung consolidation na ito? It took the market to have 129, sabi natin 130 days for the market to go down, right? So, nagkaroon tayo dito ng downtrend, right? Another downtrend ulit. So, in between, makakakita tayo dito ng what we call sideways. Tapos, downtrend. Then, anong mapapansin natin dito? Downtrend siya, yes, pero nag-i-struggle siya. Right? Compare natin yung nangyayari dito. Ayan, so quick comparison. Eto, nung nag-downtrend siya, merong malaking consolidation which is 130 days. Eto, downtrend siya pero anong mapapansin natin? It is struggling. Like, hindi niya na ma-push yung price pababa. Right? So, meron tayo ditong consolidation again, another downtrend. Then from here, nag-consolidate tayo. Eto, nagkaroon na tayo ng reversal of trend. Tama? Pag sinabi natin reversal of trend, tapos na yung pagkabagsak ng market. Nag-consolidate na rin tayo. And from here, nakita natin anong nangyari. Nagkaroon tayo ng uptrend, consolidation, then another uptrend, another consolidation na sobrang tagal dito. Check na natin ilang araw to. Gaano katagal nag-consolidate yung market on this area. Kung ayon 129 days, eto 196 days. Just ilang months kaya yan? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 6 months. So we had a 6 months consolidation and nagkaroon tayo ng uptrend ulit. Another consolidation around this area. Ayan. So nagkaroon tayo dito ng another uptrend and anong mapapansin natin? The price or the trend ng Bitcoin ngayon is consolidation. Right? So we are on the waiting game. Tataas ba yung Bitcoin? Bababa ba yung Bitcoin? So ayun yung kailangan nating alamin. Right? So I'm pretty bearish right now, to be honest. Gusto kong makita yung Bitcoin umabot ng 28K. So magiging kontrabida ba ako kung ayun yung gusto kong mangyari? Ayun yung the way I see the market. Kasi sobrang lapit natin dito ngayon. Right? Kasi mapapansin natin pag nababasag siya, ayun, oh. Ayan. So pag nabasag siya, gumagawa siya ng bagong low. Nagkakaroon siya ng trend. Pag nabasag siya, ayan, nagkakaroon tayo ng bagong low. Right? So dito, ayan, pag meron tayong mga break, ayan, tawag natin dyan break of structure. Meron tayong mga break. Dito, wala pa tayong break na nangyayari. Meron na, right? Meron na tayong mga break. Eto, meron tayong break dito, pero nai-push natin yung price pataas. So, are you getting my point? Nagkaroon tayo ng break around this area. Ang tawag natin dito is support. Bakit support? Kasi may sumusuporta sa presyo dyan. Ibig sabihin, may mga bumibili sa presyo ng Bitcoin around this area. Nagkaroon tayo ng break dito, pero nai-push natin yung price pataas. Right? So, simple analysis lang. Dito, nagkaroon tayo ulit ng break. Na-push natin yung price pataas pero hindi natin nabasag ito. Right? So, this is a sign of weakness. So, gusto kong umabot yung Bitcoin on 28K on the next 4 months. Ayan, walang magpapasko ng masaya. Hindi, joke lang. Right? So, ang sama ng walang magpapasko ng masaya. Pwede tayong maging masaya kung nasa tamang side tayo. So I am anticipating the break around this area. I am anticipating the break around this area. So pag tama yung analysis ko, then I will earn money. Right? So pag tama yung analysis ko, I will earn money. Pag mali yung analysis ko, then I will lose money. So ganun lang siya kasimple. Right? So ano lang yun, cognitive analysis. Kumbaga hindi pa siya gaano ka-detail. So ano pa lang siya, common sense. Ayan, common sense kasi that's the way we see it or that's the way we saw the market. All right, so following so far, can you type 1 with our terminologies kung klaro naman? And can you type 2 if you want something to be clarified? Again, we would like to make this engaging para sa inyo guys kasi sobrang bihira ng oras na meron tayong interaction with one another. Alright, so I think clear naman from each other, no? The question is, are you excited to analyze the market? Ayan, so simple analysis pa lang yun, no? Yung pinakita natin kanina. Nakita natin nabasag yung ganito or nabasag yung support. Tapos binalik yung price, nabasag ulit yung support pero napansin natin na hindi siya gumawa ng panibagong high. That's why we are still bearish on the market. And yeah. Ayan. Kanina pinakita natin yung daily time frame. So meron tayong different types of trader. Ano ibig sabihin ng types of trader? Sorry for my Ayan, so if you're hearing my cat, guys, he's hungry na. Ayan. So yeah, types of trader. Ayan, may mga trader na ano, na nakatingin kanina tinignan natin daily time frame. May mga trader na nakatingin sa 1 minute, 5 minute, or 10 minutes, or even 1 hour time frame. Ang tawag natin sa kanila is scalper. Ayan. So, pag sinabi natin scalper, within an hour or within a couple of hours, dapat nakaka-exit na sila sa kanilang trade. Pag sinabi naman nating day trader, dapat within a day, ma-exit na nila yung trade nila. Alright? So, pag sinabi naman natin swing trader, usually sila naman yung mga nagtitrade ng 3 to 5 or sabihin natin 10 times a month. So, nakafocus sila sa pinakamababang point, pinakamataas na point within that month, then doon sila papasok. Right? So, pag sinabi naman natin position trader, we can, pwede natin silang maihalin tulad as investor. Nakafocus sila sa months, couple of months into year, like 3 months, 6 months, or even more than a year. Right? So, position trader. Like nakita nila, ito na yung pinakabagsak ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Simula ngayon, magpapasok na ako ng pera. Ito na yung pinakabagsak na point ng Bitcoin. So, paunti-unti, magpapasok na ako ng pera. So, following so far? Yeah. So, iisa-isayin natin ngayon yung types ng trader. So, scalper are focused on making small profit from short-term price movements. Scalpers typically enter and exit position within minutes to hours. So, ayun nga, mabilis sila mag-trade or mabilis silang maka-entry and mabilis silang maka-exit. Alright, so yes, day trader naman is someone who buy and sell within the same day. By the way guys, I am a day trader. Ayan, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sa umaga lang po ba kayo nagtitrade? Hindi. Ibig sabihin, within a day, dapat ma-enter or ma-exit ko na yung trade na yun. Right? So, hindi ko siya hino-hold ng matagal. Right? So, I can be a scalper, I can be a day trader, I can be a position trader, or I can be a swing trader, any trader I want, pero ang main ko talaga is day trading. Right? So, yeah, ang swing trader naman, swing trader are focused on swing points. Ayan, pag sinabi natin pabalik sa scalper. Alright, so sorry po, madam. Ayan, scalper are focused on making small profit for short-term price movements. Ayan, so sila yung mga nagtitrade minutes to hours lang. Ayan, so ibig sabihin, sobrang galing na nilang mag-analyze ng market. Kasi they can enter and exit decisively. Pag sinabi natin decisively, hindi na sila naglo-look back, ay sana pala hinold ko pa, ay sana pala ganyan, ay sana pala ganito. Right? So they don't have attachment to their trades. Alright? Let's go with swing trader. And lahat naman tayo familiar with swing, tama? Ano yung swing? Ito yung laro natin ng bata. Meron tayong mga swing sa playground, right? So sa puno, meron tayong swing. And meron ba hindi nakakaalam ng kung ano yung swing dito? Ayan, yung parang gulong. Pwede rin, may tali yung gulong, nakatali sa puno, swing. Naka-focus yung mga swing trader sa pinakamalayong point. Kasi mas malayong swing, mas malaking profit. So hindi sila naka-focus sa sa quantity, naka-focus sila sa quality. Right? So swing trader are focused on swing points and sa falls and mga rise ng analysis. Between day trading and position trading, they aim to capture profit from short-term price movements, holding position within day to several weeks. Alright, so last but not the least, which is the investor part, position trader is focused on holding for extended period, aiming to profit from long-term trends rather than short-term price movements. So, matatagal sila mag-hold or maganda to para sa mga taong busy or para sa mga mga taong may mga traditional business. Like they just want to diversify their profit. Right? So they are a position trader. Right? So let's talk the risk to reward or the risk of different trader. Mapapansin natin, meron tayo ditong y-axis, which is the risk, and x-axis, which is the time. Ibig sabihin nito, sobrang lapit ng time natin sa scalper, pero sobrang taas ng risk niya. Right? Bakit sobrang taas ng risk niya? Kasi sobrang dami mong decision na gagawin in a day. Right? Kasi dapat ma-enter or ma-exit mo na yung trade na yon within a day. So, sobrang baba ng time commitment natin and sobrang taas ng risk niya. So, if you are a newbie trader or zero knowledge, hindi siya advisable for you. Ayan. So, meron tayong mga cognitive bias na siguro scalper yung para sa akin kasi bago pa lang ako. No. Scalper is for professional trader. Bakit? Kasi kailangan hindi ka attach sa trade idea na yon. And as a newbie trader, napakadami mong pirana moments. Ano ibig sabihin ng pirana moments? Ay sayang, pirana naging bato pa. Ay sayang, dapat hinold ko pa. Ay sayang, dapat in-exit ko na. Sa mga ganun level. Right? So just imagine etong mga moments or etong mga hindsight bias or etong mga sayang moments is dala-dala mo yon onto the next decision. Pumapangit yung decision making natin. Right? So, gaya nga na sinabi natin, trading psychology is very important in our skill. And kung dala-dala mo yon on your next trading decision is sobrang pangit ng decision making mo. Right? Unang sira dyan is yung yung decision making mo. Pangalawa is yung port mo. Kasi may mga ganun kang moment, may mga tendency ka na, dapat lakihan ko next trade para mabawi ko. Dapat liitan ko next trade kasi natatakot na ako. Right? So, habang tumatagal, lumiliit yung risk niya. So, as a day trader, mapapansin natin na yung time commitment natin is mataas or tumataas na, pero yung risk natin bumababa. Why is that? Kasi nagfo-focus ka na on quality over quantity. Right? So, nakafocus ka na sa quality over quantity. So, kumukonti yung types ng trade mo or yung dami or yung frequency ng trade mo. Right? So, meron naman tayong tinatawag na swing trader. Ito yung medyo mataas na yung time commitment. So, you hold your trade ng mas matagal. Like 2 days, 3 days, or even weeks. So, nakafocus ka na, mas qualitative na yung pagpili mo ng trade. Hindi ka na basta-basta pumapasok. Right? So, pag position trader naman, mas sobrang baba na ng risk niya. Bakit? Kasi nakafocus ka sa time. Ang motto ng mga position trader is time will tell. Right? So, time will tell kung tama ako o hindi. And if we're going to compare the reward with regards with time, may kita natin yung scalper, sobrang baba ng nakukuha nilang reward. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman ganun kalaki gumalaw yung market within hours or within minutes. Right? So, habang tumatagal yung time commitment natin, mas tumatagal or mas lumalaki din yung reward natin. Right? So, bakit kaya ganun? Bakit kaya mas rewarded yung mga day trader, mga position trader compared with scalper? Kasi they are willing to hold, right? Because again, time reward is a function of time. Remember that always. Reward is a function of time. Yeah, so I think do we have any more question with this one sa natin? Types of trader. Right. So let's go back to the chart. For example, ayan. So etong mga trading idea nito. Just imagine as a day trader, tignan muna natin yung mga playgrounds. Right. So this is daily time frame. Tignan muna natin paano mag-isip yung mga trader. Or paano mag-isip yung mga different types of trader. From this position. From this position. So, as a position trader, ang mga tinitignan natin will be this one. Ayan, etong mga points na 'to ang mga tinitignan natin, right? So, bakit ito yung mga point na tinitingnan natin? Ito yung pinakamataas and pinakamababa within this range. 'Pag sinabi natin range, ito yung, highest and lowest point ng current price ng Bitcoin nung kailan 'to? Ah, from March 30 to, October. So, eto yung mga point of interest natin. So, usually 'pag position trader magse-set lang sila ng alarm, umabot na 'to sa price na ito. Okay, so am I going to decide na ba to trade around this area? Right? So, ganito mag-isip yung mga position trader. Ito yung mga position or mga points for them to enter. Right? So, sa mga swing naman, mga swing trader, eto, meron kasi tayong mini trend inside the uptrend. So, eto yung initial trend natin. So, meron tayong mini uptrend around this area, right? So, this is the mini trend around this area. So, paano mag-isip yung mga swing trader? Eto, hahanapin nila etong area na 'to. Saan kaya siya, hindi tutuloy yung pagbagsak? So, from here, papasok sila dito. Makukuha nila 'to, etong profit na ito, right? So, 'pag nakita na nila na, invalidated na short term yung uptrend nila, isahantayin nila ulit eto. Saan kaya ulit magba-bounce yung price? So, dito ulit sila papasok, getting this next swing. So, eto naman yung mga nakakuha ng mga swing trader. Ayan. So, are you getting my point so far? Ganito mag-isip yung mga swing trader. Nakikita ko na nagkakaroon ng slowdown sa pagbagsak ng market. So, chances are, again, the word is chances are, patuloy ng umakyat or patuloy ng aakyat yung market. Alright? So, eto yung mga kinukuha ng mga swing trader. So, paano naman mag-isip yung mga day trader? Right? So, sa mga maliliit na ito, ayan. So, they enter sa mga maliliit na candlestick na yan. Tapos exit kung saan yung pinakamalapit na point. Papasok sila ulit, e-exit sa pinakamalapit na point. Then papasok ulit, e-exit sa pinakamalapit na point. They are going on lower time frame Pwede nating tignan 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. And as a scalper, ganito naman mag-trade yung mga scalper. Ayan. So, one candle dito is 15 minutes. Sabi natin, baba pa tayo, 5 minutes. Ganito mag-trade yung mga scalper. Or paano sila mag-isip? Ay, nakita nila from here, meron tayong small downtrend. Ayan, meron tayong small downtrend. Nakita nila hindi siya bumasag dito. They are going to enter here. Then, e-exit sila bago siya mapunta dito. Ayan, so makukuha nila itong, eto, enter sila dito, lalabas bago ma-hit yung target na to. Then, ganun ulit. Papasok sila ulit dito. Then, e-exit sila bago may hit yung kanilang point of interest. So, yan. Ganun sila mag-isip. Sobrang bilis nila mag-isip. Like for example, ito, hindi na siya gumawa ng panibagong low. Ito, gumawa siya ng low, pero ito, hindi na siya gumawa ng panibagong low. Papasok sila agad dito. Exit sila around this area. Ayan. So, pasok sila ulit dito. Exit before here. Yan. So, sobrang stressful for me. Ayan. Para sa akin, nakatutok ka sa chart pag ganito. Pag ganito yung way of trading mo. Right? So, that is paano sila mag-isip. On the overview side pa lang yan. Right? So, meron pa tayong technicalities with this. Meron pa tayong trading rules with this. Meron pa tayong different strategies with this. Alright? So, that is the overview pa lang. And yeah, questions so far, guys? Do we have questions so far? So, wala. Can you type? Sige, magkaroon tayo ng mini question and answer muna dito before we proceed on our next topic. Yeah, I think We still have a lot of time pa naman. Wala tayong question. Following so far, I would like to gauge sobra. And I would like to gauge the learning outcome so far. And guys, yeah, you ask question guys. So we can have uh, so we can gauge anong ganap or ano pa yung pwede nating ituro. Alright, so why do we learn to trade? Kahit hindi related sa tinuro natin kasi may mga na dito may mga natuto na talaga mag-trade. Right? Kasi medyo in-depth na yung sunod natin ituturo. Tinuro natin yung types of trader. Ang sunod natin will be types of trading naman. Right? Do you use indicators? Yes, I use indicator. Yes, I use indicator. That is part of my trading trading strategy. Right. All right. So I think everything is clear naman, no? So in trading, ayan, let's go back with the chart. So in trading, sulat natin, reason is everything. Ayan, palakihin natin. Ayan, in trading, reason is everything. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Lahat ng pagpasok natin, lahat ng paglabas natin, dapat it will be bound by reason. Right? So, the reason kung bakit ako pumasok sa trading or the reason kung bakit ako pumasok sa idea na ito kasi sa tingin ko ganito yung mangyayari. Right? So, pag wala tayong maayos na reasoning, lahat ng lahat ng entry exit natin will be by chance. It will not be by choice. Right? So, in trading, reason is everything. Like for example, meron tayo dito nakita natin yung presyo umaakyat, then nakita natin yung presyo bumababa. So, ang reason natin to enter for this trade is sa tingin ko, hindi na bababa yung price at i-continue niya na yung trend. Right? So, what will invalidate your idea? Siyempre, pag bumagsak siya. Right? So, ang mali ng iba is, hindi, baka dito pa yan. Right? Hindi, baka dito ba yan? I-adjust ko yung stop loss ko. Ay, hindi, baka dito pa yan. Adjust ko yung stop loss ko. Ay, hindi, baka dito pa yan. I-adjust ko yung stop loss ko. Just for you na masunog yung account mo. So, ano yung problema in the first place? Yung reasoning mo is not that solid. Right? Ayaw mo magkamali. Pero sinasabi na ng market na mali yung idea mo. Right? So, klaro, is that clear so far? Meron pa tayong another idea. So, magsasabi tayo ng mga technical terms or trading strategy. So, pumasok ka around this area, liquidity sweep lang to. Right? So, liquidity sweep lang to. So, I entered this market kasi sa tingin ko, this is a liquidity sweep and the market will continue the price higher. So, klaro yung reason. Tama? So, klaro yung reason. Pero what if the market, nag-pump siya ng konti just for the market to continue going lower? Right? So, are you going to move your stop loss again and again? So, are you getting my point so far? So, again, in trading, reason is everything. Pag hindi mo kayang pangatawanan yung reason na yun, you are not going to progress in your trading. Right? It's not part of psychological, it's part of your logical na. Right? So, ang una sa lahat, hindi maayos yung reasoning mo kung bakit ka natatalo or bakit hindi mo matanggap yung iyong pagkatalo. Una sa lahat. Right? So, following so far, naiintindihan ba? Ayan, parang hinantok na kayo guys. Ayan, so yeah. Yes. In trading, reason is everything. So, pag pumasok ka without a reason.
A drinking.
As,
He will drink na. He will drink. Yes. He pour. I saw
Pa-mute na
it.
lang po.
Yes, he spilled.
Sorry for the commercial, guys. So, in trading, 'pag pa-mute na lang po. So in trading 'pag ano, in trading 'pag pumasok ka without a reason, bakit ka pumasok, right? So, everything that you entered without a reason is not by choice, it is by chance. Hindi sa tingin ko ganito na mangyayari, yayaman na ako. Right? Again, trading is not an easy money. In your first 6 months, you're trying not to lose money rather than earning it. Remember that. In trading, in your first 6 months, you are trying not to lose money rather than earning it. That is the cold, the hard truth in this skill. So, you really need ample of capital talaga if you really want to master this skill. Right? So, in trading, reason is everything. And going on our first concept muna with trading. Ayan, na-discuss na natin kanina yung uptrend, tama? Downtrend, then sideways. So, ano yung pinaka-basic or pinakaunang kailangan natin aralin with trading? Ayan, so ano yung pinakakailangan nating aralin sa trading? Una natin kailangan malaman is ano yung support, ano yung resistance. Yan. Drawing muna tayo dito ng dalawang line. So ano ba yung dapat nating unang matutunan sa trading? Una, siyempre yung support and resistance. This is the basic foundation of trading. Support and resistance. Okay, so ang tawag natin dito sa baba is support. Ang tawag naman natin dito sa linya sa taas is resistance. Alright, so following so far, can you type 1 kung meron ka ng idea sa support and resistance? Can you type 2 if this is something new to you guys? Can you type 1 if this is may idea na? Can you type 2 if this is something new to you guys? Yeah, so I believe, ayan. So support and resistance. So ano ba yung support and resistance? Just imagine guys, meron akong jackstone ball. Meron akong jackstone ball. Pag yung jackstone ball binato ko sa floor or sa sahig, ano yung tendency or ano yung mangyayari? Pag yung jackstone ball binato ko sa floor, ano yung mangyayari? Ayan. So, yung jackstone ball binato ko sa floor, ano mangyayari sa bola na yun? It will bounce. Right? So, it will bounce. Ganun din with the price action. Pag yung price action, binato natin or bumabagsak, pag nakahanap siya ng floor, ang mangyayari is magbabounce siya. So, ang tawag natin doon is support. Nakita natin yung price action, uy, nag-bounce siya dito. Ayan, so it will go up. Ang tendency niya is it will go up. Just imagine, etong jackstone ball, binato ko siya sa kisame. Hindi siya sa bubong ha. Binato ko sa kisame. Ano mangyayari? Right? So, tatalbog din siya pababa. Right? So, it will also bounce. Right? So, sa support and resistance ay yung makikita natin with the price. Right? So, support and resistance, ito yung pinagbabouncean ng price. So, going on our price action, check muna natin. Again, nandito tayo sa 5 minutes, pero try natin lumipat muna sa 1 hour. Ayan. Right now, nandito tayo sa 1 hour time frame. Ayan, nandito tayo sa 1 hour time frame. Ano mapapansin natin? Meron tayong downtrend dito. Ayan, meron tayong downtrend dito. Right? Tapos, drawing natin na maayos. Meron tayong downtrend. And then from here, anong mapapansin natin? Anong nangyari sa price action nung pagdating niya sa price na to? 49K. Ano nangyari? Nag-bounce siya. So, meron tayong support dito. Ibig sabihin na merong support dito sa price na to. So, we call this one as support. Alright? So, we call this one as support. Then from here, pagka-bounce niya, nakakita tayo ng uptrend. Tama? Pero anong nangyari pagdating niya sa price dito? Right? Nagkaroon tayo ng bounce ulit. Bumalik yung presyo. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong resistance dito. right? So this will be our support and this will be our resistance. So clear? Following so far? So this will be our support and this will be our resistance. Nakita natin pagkadating ng presyo dito, tumalbog siya. Pagkadating ng presyo dito, tumalbog siya. And right now, nasa gitna pa rin tayo na support and resistance. Right? So, sabihin natin itong bola na to. Pagkabato ko sa kisame, napalakas. Ayan. Pagkabato ko sa kisame, napalakas. Ano mangyayari sa resistance? Siyempre, mabubutas siya. Tama? So, pag nabutas siya, yung dating resistance, magiging support siya. Ayan. So, ang tawag natin dito is break. Tawag naman natin dito is break, nabutas siya. Right? So, yung bola, napalakas yung pagbato natin, mabubutas yung kisame. Then, tatalbog siya dito. Right? So, ganun din, pag yung floor, binato natin, napalakas, mabubutas din yung floor, and yung support, magiging resistance siya. So, from here, pwede tayong mag-create or pwede tayong mag-track ng mini support and mini resistance. Remove all drawing muna natin. Ayan, yung meron tayong initial downtrend here, meron tayong support dito. Right? Try natin drawing na lang siya ng line. Ayan, drawing natin ng line. Ayan. Nagkaroon tayo ng bounce dito, pero hindi siya umabot dito. Then, yun, bumagsak siya. Tama? So, etong support na to, magiging resistance na siya. Ano mapapansin natin? Gumawa siya ng price, pababa, meron tayo ulit support dito. Ano nangyari sa support natin? Naging resistance siya. Nagets nyo? Hindi siya nabasag. So, from here, yung dating support naging resistance. Ganon din dito. Nabasag siya. Yung dating support, naging resistance. Right? Dating support, naging resistance. Bumaba pa siya. Meron tayo ulit support dito. Yung dating support, naging resistance. Right? So, from here, yun. Eto na. Ito na yung pinaka-support natin. And so, the price is supporting. Ibig sabihin, maraming bumibili. That is the reason kung bakit siya nagbabounce. Right? So, yung dating support, eto, strong support siya kasi hindi siya nabutas. Then from here, meron tayong resistance dito. Right? So, bakit siya resistance? Kasi, pagkaakyat ng price, nagkaroon tayo ng rebound. Then from here, nabutas siya. Right? So, meron tayong basag. Then, trinay niya mag-support kaya siya umakyat. Then, dito, meron tayong resistance kung tawagin. Right? So, following so far, this is how we plot support and resistance. Alright? So, try natin i-zoom out yung presyo ng Bitcoin ngayon. Let's try to zoom out the price of Bitcoin. So, this will be our support. Ito yung support natin. Pinaka-main support. Then, this will be our resistance. Alright, so this is our support and this is our resistance. So, nasa loob siya. Nasa loob siya ngayon. Right? So, sa tingin natin from this point of view, meron tayong sinuportan dito na price sa loob din. Nung nakita natin, nagkaroon tayo ng reaction dito, umakyat. Then, right now, meron tayong support and resistance inside support and resistance. So, pinapaliit natin yung playground natin for us to create an educated guess kung ano yung sunod na gagawin ng Bitcoin. Alright? So, from here, makikita natin na na this is a good support. Na-reject siya, yes. Pero this is, hindi siya tumama sa support. So, this is a chance or this might indicate that there is a swing. Ano ibig sabihin ng swing ulit? Meron tayong initial trend, tapos yung trend hindi nasira, then pwede siyang gumawa ng another trend. Right? So, continue the trend. Ayun yung nakikita natin with here, right now. So, yeah, meron tayong news mamaya, no? 8:30. Pero pwede rin siyang bumagsak dito. Right? So magandang idea dito. Pero eto kasi nasa middle na siya ng price action eh. Nasa gitna na siya. It's hard to create decision around this area na for me. Alright? So following so far with how we track or how we create support and resistance. Can you type 1 kung lahat klaro? Or yung pag-plot natin ng support and resistance ay klaro? And can you type 2 if you have question? 1. Uy, klaro daw yung pag-plot natin ng support and resistance, guys. Thank you, thank you. And since klaro yung pag-plot natin ng support and resistance, my question is, ano yung dapat nating unahing i-plot? Right? So, ano yung dapat nating unahing i-plot? Dapat ba support? Dapat ba resistance? Alright? Parang ano lang, no? Ano nauna, itlog o manok? Ano yung dapat unahin pag maggigisa? Sibuyas o bawang? Right now, our question is, ano yung dapat nating unahing i-plot? Support o resistance? Gaya nga na sinabi natin, dapat mechanical, dapat systematic if we're going to plot. Kung dito sa foundation pa lang, hindi klaro sa atin kung ano yung dapat nating i-plot, is magiging subjective lahat ng idea natin. Sabi ni Sir Ray, support daw, yung dapat nating unang i-plot. How about the others, guys? Ano yung dapat una nating hanapin? Is it support? Is it resistance? I don't know. Depende sa trend. Ayun. Thank you for that, Ma'am Susan. Alright, so I am going to give you 5 steps. Una is find that trend. Right, so ito yung 5 step in finding or creating support and resistance. Una, alamin muna natin kung ano yung trend. Is it uptrend? Right? Is it downtrend? Kung uptrend yung o yung trend, ano yung una nating ipa-plot? Nakita natin, uptrend yung market, ano yung una nating ipa-plot? Right. So kung uptrend, syempre hahantayin muna natin magkaroon ng bounce. Ang tawag natin pag nauntog siya sa taas, ang tawag natin dito will be rejection. Kasi yung presyo is na-reject. Right? So this is a rejection. So ang next natin, find the trend. Kung yung trend natin is uptrend, pag alam na natin trend, una nating hahanapin is find the confirm or rejection. Right? Pag downtrend naman, pag downtrend, ang i-confirm natin is the rebound. Right? So, yung price nagkaroon ng rebound. So confirm the rebound or rejection. The next question is, how are we going to confirm the rejection? Pag nakita natin yung presyo dito, hindi na siya gumawa ng panibagong high. Pangalawa, meron tayong 2 to 3 candles na hindi na siya gumawa ng high. That is our way to confirm rebound and rejection. Ganon din dito. Nagkaroon siya dito ng week, tapos yung sunod na candle, bullish na, then we can safely confirm that this is a rebound. Right? Pangatlo is plot na natin. Pag uptrend, una natin ipa-plot. Plot is resistance. If downtrend, first to plot is support. Alright? So, eto na yung step 3 natin. Meron tayo step 3, guys. So, ano yung step 4 natin ngayon? So, our step 4, isahantayin natin yung price. Gumawa or mag-confirm ng support. Sabi natin dito, nagkaroon siya ng support. Right? So, how do we confirm? Ganun din, 2 to 3 candles. And yeah, voila, guys. Confirm the rebound and rejection. Then, to plot is the next to plot thing to plot next thing to plot is resistance. All right, so klaro ba? Does our skill make it mechanical? Does this skill make it systematic? So, yes. So, yeah. Try natin ulit. So, gagawa muna tayo ng trend or maghahanap muna tayo ng trend. Then, from this trend, nakita natin na yung next 2 candles natin, 2 to 3 candles natin is, yan na. Confirm na natin that this is a rejection. Ipa-plot ko na tong resistance. Then the price continue to go lower. Nakita natin from this price, karoon siya support. Then yung next candle natin, yeah, karoon tayo ng rebound. So plot din natin yung support. Alright, so try natin gawin yun sa price action. Ayan, try natin gawin. Let's practice, guys. I hope, kung meron kayo trading view, ito, pwede nyo siyang ma-practice later. Can you give, punta tayo ng ibang coin, Solana. Ayan, Sol USDT. Check muna natin yung Solana, guys. So, Solana is a coin, then on cryptocurrency. It's a cryptocurrency coin. And yes, na tradable. Alright, so dito, punta tayong 1 hour time frame para marami tayong reference point. Ayan. By the way, my chart is yan. So, meron tayong downtrend. Tama? Meron tayong downtrend. Then, ang una nating mapapansin dito, meron tayong support. Right? Meron tayong support around this area. Pero anong nangyayari? Nabasag siya agad. So, since nabasag siya agad, meron tayong 2 to 3 confirmation candle, pero nabasag siya agad. Then, let's plot another support. Dito, meron na tayong support dito. Right? So, from here, dito, meron tayong rejection. Rejection. 2 to 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. Candle na pababa, pero nabasag din siya pataas. So, this is not a good resistance. Pero pwede natin siya extend. Pwede natin siya extend. Ayan. So, from here, meron tayo ulit resistance around this area. Ayan. So, this will be our support and resistance na. Ayan. So, this will be our support. This will be our resistance. Then, plot natin. Pagkadating dito, dito tayo nagkaroon ng rejection. So, ano mapapansin natin? Anong rebound? Pagkabagsak ng presyo, nakita natin nagkaroon tayo ng rebound. Tapos naabot itong resistance. Right? So, mapapansin natin every time na nagkakaroon or natatouch yung resistance, nagkakaroon tayo ng reaction. Natouch, bumagsak. Natouch, bumagsak. Natouch, bumagsak. So, from here, we can create a trading decision. So, meron tayo ulit rebound around this area. And this time, hindi na lang siya basta touch. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi na lang siya basta touch. Kasi binasag na siya, tapos yung binasag siya, trinay niya maging support. Right? So, meron tayong another uptrend. Yan. Meron tayong another uptrend. So, this will be our initial resistance, initial support. Tama? Initial resistance. Then, initial support. Kasi dito tayo nagkaroon ng rebound. Then, binasag lang din siya. I-adjust natin tong resistance ngayon dito. Right? So, this will be our... Yeah. Yan. Meron tayo ulit basag dito. Binasag. Tapos, naging support. Etong resistance, naging support na siya. Another thing is, yan. We draw it this one. Dito to nag-support. So, ito yung mga magiging key levels natin here. Right? So, following so far, yan, gumawa tayo ng uptrend. Ayan, meron tayong uptrend dito. Or meron tayong resistance. Ito yung magiging initial resistance natin. Then, initial support. Ayan. So, from here, nung nabasag to, ito yung magiging resistance natin. Then, ito yung magiging support natin. Right? Dito siya rebound, umakyat siya, pero binasag lang din yan. Then, another support around this area. Ito support na to, naging resistance dito. Then, downtrend, hanap tayo ng rebound, rejection dito, around this area. Yan. So, ito yung pinakauna nating pagpa-practicein talaga. Yung paghahanap ng support and resistance before tayo mag-proceed sa different strategies. So, again, this will be our resistance. Then, pagkabasag, downtrend. So, ito yung ito yung resistance natin na wala pang, support na wala pang reaction ngayon. Right? So, hindi pa nagre-react ulit yung Solana around this area. So, sobrang lalim ng support na to, no? 110. So, end resistance. Ito yung main support and resistance natin with Solana right now. And we can create on this one too. Ayan. Ito yung pinakamalapit. Ayan. So, in between, we can also support and resistance. Ayan. So, yeah. So, following so far, guys, do you have questions with this? With support and resistance? Before I proceed with my next question. Ayan. So, I hope you're learning so far, guys. Yeah. Everything's good naman. Okay, can you type 1 kung following so far? And yeah, dito tayo sa Bitcoin. Are we going to bababa ba yung Bitcoin ngayon or tataas? And question so far, guys. 1, I think everything is clear naman, no, with you guys. Yeah? So, balik tayo sa Solana ulit. Let's go back with Solana, guys. Uy, nawala yung natin. Nawala yung plinat natin. Ayan. So, sabihin natin, ito yung magiging natin. Ito yung magiging support. And ito yung magiging resistance natin. Right? So, this is our playground. Hindi siya malinis. Right? Hindi siya laging sumasakto sa support. May mga times na hindi siya masyado sumasakto sa support. Lumalagpas nga siya eh. Tama? So, lumagpas to. And ito naman, hindi siya tumatama sa resistance. So, is that clear, guys? So, how are we going to analyze that kind of market? So, ang tawag natin dito is overshoot. And ang tawag naman natin dito is undershoot. Right? So, overshoot, undershoot. Tawag natin dito rejection. Tama, kasi nagkaroon siya ng reaction. Pagkatama niya sa resistance, nagkaroon ng reaction. Tapos dito naman tawag natin is rebound. Kasi pagkatama niya sa support is nagkaroon siya ng reaction. Tawag naman natin dito overshoot, undershoot. Ito yung mga i-discuss pa natin on different strategies. Alright, so yeah, I think that's it so far on the overview of technicalities ng trading. And why should you learn to trade? Or why should I trade? Una is, kailangan natin mag-upskill. Right? So the inflation rate here in the Philippines is sobrang taas or sobrang, tawag dito, sobrang lala. Our economic growth is not that good. So we need to upskill. So, ano yung bagay na pwede nating i-upskill? Una, how do we analyze the financial market, right? Pangalawa is, how am I going to manage my finances? So, from here, hindi lang tayo basta hindi lang tayo basta aasa sa VUL or mutual fund. Kasi from here or from this day forward is you are be in control with your finances. So, why should you learn to trade is pangalawa is to diversify, right? So, nasa panahon na tayo na isang skill lang kulang, right? So, I can teach Japanese, I can be how do you call this? I can teach Montessori teaching approach, I can teach trading, I can trade, right? So, nasa panahon na tayo ng diversification. So, isang profession lang sa totoo, medyo mahirap siya. That's why you really need to learn how to trade din. Gaya ng sinabi kanina ni Sir Sean is as an accountant din or crypto accountant, we really need to learn how to trade. And my last question is, malapit na matapos, guys. Thank you for your time. How can I start? There are a lot of ways to start. Meron tayong e-books na available online and offline. May mga free and syempre may mga paid. And pangalawa, YouTube University. Right? So napakadami sa YouTube where we can learn trading from there, right? YouTube University. Meron tayong mentorship, napakadaming mentorship program na available locally and internationally. Sadya hindi lang ako pwede how do you call this, promote. As in, I think everything is good naman. Kung ano yung matututunan yung valuable then you keep it. Kung sa tingin niyo hindi siya valuable, then you just dump it. Right? So, last but not the least is, eto pala, ano yung pinagkaiba ng mentorship sa coaching? Parehas lang to, no? Mentorship and coaching. Mentorship, para sa akin, mas holistic yung approach. Yung kaya ka niya i-call out, you are being undisciplined not only on your trading, but also in your personal life. Pag coaching kasi, this is more on numbers eh. So, ganito yung pag-improve natin ng numbers mo, or ganito yung pag-improve natin ng expectancy ng trade mo. So for me, that is the difference with mentorship. Mentorship is holistic. Coaching is about numbers naman. Right? So, and last but not the least is Gainers Ground. By the way, you can go on gainersground.io, guys. Ground.io. Para sa ating mga zero knowledge talaga, we already created a course which you can access right here, right now. Ayan. Register nyo lang. Punta kayo gainersground.io. Click nyo yung login. Then register po kayo doon to create an account. Then available na po yung natin, primer. Ayan. So primer, ito yung pang zero knowledge talaga. Like, hindi mo alam yung chart, hindi mo alam kung paano gamitin yung ganito, something like that. Primer is available na. And Rudiment will be released on Monday. Rudiment is about the principle naman. Like, ano yung prinsipyo namin in trading. So, we want to be aligned with you first bago kayo dive in with us. Right? So, thank you, sir. Nice to meet you. And yeah, it's available right now. And again, guys, 1,000 journey begins with a single step. So, yeah, I'm very excited to be with you in your journey. And sabi dito, trading is about creating certain decision in uncertain environment. And yeah, I think dito na ako magtatapos, Sean. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me here. I hope you learned something from me. Again, I've been doing trading for almost 7 years. I've been doing trading for almost 7 years and sobrang hirap ng walang nagga-guide sa inyo. This is a shortcut. Kumbaga, ayaw na namin daanan yung dinaanan namin. Pero may mga times talaga na matigas yung ulo ng mga tao na, hindi, mali si coach, mali si ganyan, dapat ganito, minamadali. Something like that. So, we give you the freedom on your journey, guys. But we are going to tell you ano pa yung mas magpapadali sa journey na yon. Right? So, yeah.